Hello and welcome to the back nine of the 2024 Music City Open presented by Lone Star Disc. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.
Deep honk. We are watching Kristin Tattar reel in Holyn Handley. Mathematically, they are not very far apart. Is it one now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Silva Saarinen struggling, hasn't found any birdies yet. She dropped back a few places. Ella Hansen has jumped into fourth place. Hailey King started off well and really just had one truly rough hole.
Yeah, Hailey and Silva both carding triple bogeys, and those are hard to bounce back from mentally, but they are both fighting. Right now, if you shoot under par, you are just skyrocketing up the leaderboard. Even with decent conditions today, maybe a little bit of wind, it's still really difficult to find birdies out here and not get bogeys.
Hole 10 is a par 4, 677 feet. You are throwing across the water. To get good distance, you end up hyzering out, but you can easily find that OB. There is a drop zone for any shot that does not land safe. It's a very difficult drop zone to save par from, nigh impossible if you don't have just the most distance. We did just watch, if you didn't watch the front nine, Cat Merch birdie this one. There was only, I think, 2 birdies yesterday.
Yeah, we watched Holyn get it yesterday, but she surprised herself by getting it.
Yeah, that second shot was insane.
It was a long putt.
Most women gonna push kind of just straight and safe and not really challenge this left side OB. You can see Kristin, it's a great shot, but she's probably pretty close. It's risky, but she'll be able to attack from down there.
Yeah, of course, the less you go up that huge hill, the easier or the shorter the hole plays, but it is an advantage to be up high on the hill like Holyn's doing, because it does make your second shot a lot easier, being able to use the hill as a metric to get you to the basket.
Silva putting some turn on this one, just making sure she goes across. Gets great distance, though. She's nearly to where Holyn is, actually.
Hailey about to go huge here.
Yeah.
Getting some nice left finish as well after making it through the gap.
Interesting to see Silva going standstill. It must be a little bit of a rough run up right there. And she does have just so much power with these standstills.
Looks like she got around that little patch of trees in the middle, and maybe she won't have to mess with it, but she could be tucked behind that last little clump of trees.
Holyn, one of only a few women in the field that can get there from this distance. Her shot is low and digs, though.
Hailey and Kristin both lined up more to take advantage of the left side. They both do have those distant sidearms as well.
I would say the majority of the field is playing to this left side and just having that final sidearm approach. It's a little bit easier. Kristin lined up really well to attack here. Hailey got caught up on the corner.
I'm always a little worried about that left side OB, because if you try to do a distant sidearm and you accidentally turn it over, forcing it,
it kind of curls away from the basket, though.
Bubbles away.
Yes, bubbles away. It's very fun to say.
Kristin still able to find a gap to get through for par. Holyn coming in kind of hot on the approach, getting a lot of action, but it checks up nicely.
Silva for a very long look. Mad, you were right. Does get past that last little tree corner. And she's just going to lay up to about 15 feet. What do you think? Little run? I think so.
Maybe a soft bid. She's so good at those little forehand approaches. This hole averaged at almost a half stroke over par. There were only 3 birdies today. Only 2 people getting to circle 1 in regulation. Ella Hansen, Evelina Saarinen, and we watched Cat Merch got those 3s.
Looking like a round of pars here for our lead card. Which again, this one and hole 3 are... What's better than a bonus birdie?
Mega birdie.
Mega birdie.
Yeah, even only 8 people got to circle 2 in regulation. So yeah, hole 10 just plays rough. 40% of the field bogeying or worse, and still only the 7th most difficult hole of the day.
My.
I know.
You gotta stop throwing out statistics like that. They are mind-bending.
I got him on deck. Kristin still playing the hot round, clean 5 down. Moving on to hole 11. It's only 272 feet, but it plays a little bit uphill and therefore a little bit longer.
I've had 2 people range it at 310.
Yeah,
So,
and there's these low-hanging tree branches as well, so the gap is, you can't just hyzer your way there. You have to throw kind of more of a flexing shot, or even if you've got that distant sidearm.
yeah, we've seen flip up to straight backhands get there. I saw someone go around that tree on the right today, which was a really cool play that I didn't really think about. It adds distance, but...
and you have to push that tree on the right of the gap. A little scary.
Yeah, but it worked out so great, though. I think a lot of ladies just shoot right at that tree and try to fade just in time.
I was looking so good. It got a really pretty dramatic wind bounce there at the end. Holyn way early releasing that. Trying to throw on hyzer through the gap, and sometimes you see that mistake.
Yeah, that was really early. Silva with a crave here. The wind just yo-yoing this thing.
And it yo-yoed it right to outside the bullseye.
She looks maybe confused.
Hailey super low and linear, but unfortunately gluing in the grass. I think she was right outside the circle.
Yeah, she'll have a putt. Holyn from a place no one has ever practiced from. Going for it? Oh my.
Wow.
Holyn problems.
Look at all this wind as Kristin steps up to putt from deep in circle 2.
How can you look at an invisible force? Surprised not to see her give that a little bit more of a run. Hailey definitely going to be running at this.
Whew, I loved the line on that.
I like that it was a little bit slower than her normal putt too, so it stayed close. Good bid.
Holyn with some work left to save par, about 50 feet.
Oh, she does it.
Come on.
I guess who cares if you blow by it if you can just make 50-footers. Let's see it again.
And that is a pure looking putt.
Yeah. What a weird way to get a par. Overall.
This was the third easiest hole of the day, and Holyn just making it difficult.
You see her go, let's go.
Yeah.
Silva gets the green on the scorecard. Almost as thrilled as Hailey King when she gets a birdie.
A lot of movement from the disc in the chains, but it stays. Kristin going to have a tap in.
That was a big putt from Holyn to stay in the lead.
That was the second of 2 holes that averaged under par in the FPO field.
Just the fact that we're showing her early release in slow motion. A little funny.
Yeah, remember that, Holyn?
Yeah. Remember it's slower. Hole 12 is a par 4, 648 feet. OB all along the left side. That mostly comes into play at the end of the hole. You want to end up kind of more on the right side, I think, and then throw a sidearm on the second shot. The backhand is workable, but really risky and difficult, very technical. That final right corner that we just passed is absolutely brutal if you find yourself in there. They intentionally did not clean that up because you just shouldn't land there. That left side kind of wraps up and around the basket, as you saw.
Silva so good at this kind of, I don't even know what to call it. It's not, it's a hyzer flip that turns pretty quickly.
Yeah. But then like tries to flex at the end. Just a nice full flight generally.
Kristin got huge distance on this hole yesterday.
This looks big too.
This sure does. This looks bigger.
Great shot. Same disc as yesterday. It's always interesting that Kristin almost never changes discs, even with variable conditions. She just has so much control and confidence in what she's throwing. That one was an Orbit Grace. This is also just smashed.
We saw Hailey throw this yesterday, and it was absolutely just
annihilated.
I couldn't think of a good enough word, but it went out of bounds, and she was able to save the par. Holyn is down there in birdie
Hailey
range.
Even farther?
I feel like she is, and sadly she's pinched.
She can throw like a spiky sidearm from there. The camera guy had to turn around. You know it's good when that happens.
Silva going to try the backhand, but look at this, just going straight towards out of bounds.
Yeah, tricky not to have a forehand here, especially how far right she was.
Kind of surprised she went so aggressive with that low like that. Kristin has the distance sidearm to get here, and she's got plenty of room to work.
Oh, yeah. Puts the pressure on Holyn with that one. So good. This is almost like a chip shot, though, for Holyn.
A little early, but on the green, no problem.
Usually you're throwing still max distance, you know, full speed driver. So the fact that...
I feel like that was her zone.
I think it was a fairway driver, but I'm probably like a Raptor. I don't actually know.
Hailey going for that spike hyzer, but definitely early released it. She's going to be way right.
Oh, man. Surprising some spectators there. That guy's wearing sandals.
Watch out for your toes.
Strange place to land. Silva really far away. Just going to lay it up for a bogey.
The fact that Kristin, Holyn, and Hailey all were able to even throw lower speed discs for their second shot is insane. 10 people did get to circle one in regulation, but it's still played as one of the middle of the pack holes because 40% of the field with a bogey or worse. So there's so many opportunities to find bogey strokes on this one.
And it's not just the distance, remember, because it's only 648. It's just the technicality of the second shot in particular that makes it so difficult. Holyn with a great birdie. Kristin right behind her.
Yep. Holyn doing a great job staying seemingly calm under pressure right now. She still looks like Party Holyn.
We love
out there.
Party Holyn.
She's still playing clean, and when she does make a mistake, she is correcting it with her next shot instead of stacking them up.
Yeah, sometimes when Holyn's on these lead cards in these pressure-filled situations, she kind of bounces back between bogey and birdie a lot. She just looks so smooth and relaxed today. Even with Kristin Tattar 6 down and 1 stroke back of her.
Moving on to hole 13. It's 630 feet and similar hole to last year, but that out of bounds early on the left-hand side is so much more pinch. A lot of backhands used to be the tee shot that we would see for most of the FPO field, but this year the forehand sets up a little bit safer to not go out of bounds. The further you get that forehand, the easier this second shot is. And by easy, I mean a dead straight tunnel forever. It's never that easy, but it does open it up a little bit more to be able to attack. Even with 2 perfect forehands yesterday, we saw Kristin not barely even coming up into circle 2. So this is just a hard hole overall. It played as the second most difficult hole of the day.
What's hard about a max distance dead straight tunnel shot with OB everywhere? Also trees in front of that OB. Nothing hard about that.
Holyn's still going to pick the backhand, and that is
no way.
Very out of bounds.
It looked like she was trying to take a lot off and just land safe, too.
Ooh, business. Holyn just stepped in.
Yeah, that was some kind of face. Mm-hmm. Surprised not to see more forehands. This looks like a better line from Hailey, but it's still in danger. Yep. They don't know. They don't know it's out. And that looks like a very slow speed disc from Silva.
I like that play.
Oh, and Envy. Just going putter.
But Envies go far, though.
Sure, yeah. I'll take your word for it. Holyn throwing 3 here. Really pinched, but that has all the power to get there. You can see this right side is pretty rough. It's hard to fade just in time to get the ground play to get to the pin as well.
Silva throwing putter off the tee and landing in a pretty decent spot. It's going to be really difficult to get to the green, but she does have an open fairway, and she throws a great shot that lands in the middle.
Definitely sneaks through a little bit on that right side. Silva's standstills are so impressive. Kristin lined up with that easy shot that Madison was talking about. No problems.
She keeps it low just like she did yesterday. Really, really mitigating the risk-reward part of this whole respect.
Yeah, she's going to catch a tree, but hopefully not too much work left for the par. Hailey really far down here.
I love the flex sidearm.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, it's so good if you got it. That was perfect from Hailey. Finally, something good.
Gosh, it's been forever.
Jeez.
We're on hole 13.
We're bored.
Ugh.
Kristin, just a little chip shot with her trusty harp.
Oh, yeah. The old stop it on the wheel, as we call it in the biz. Holyn working the skip nicely. Silva for the rare look at a 3. Wow.
So good.
She has to be one of the very few people to get this one. What a great putt.
Yeah, only 4 birdies today.
She's definitely the only person who got it going putter off the tee.
Yes, without a doubt. I would bet a lot.
So much.
Only 3 people got to circle 1. Only 8 got to circle 2. So clutch circle 2 make.
Yeah. Holyn here for a bogey. Shout out to Jennifer Smiley, who went OB pretty early. Then landed, I think, at about 85 feet and threw it in to save a par. Felt like a birdie
Sick.
for sure.
Haley King saving par from out of bounds is
Insane.
from in the bullseye is wild.
Yeah, that upshot was so pretty.
And Kristin with a no-nonsense par like she does.
As she does.
The other birdies on the day was Emily Weatherman, Kona Montgomery, and Cadence Burge.
All tied up at the top with that 2-stroke swing. Crazy. Hole 14, par 3, 294 feet. Same hole as last year, OB left and right. They did take out this tree. We're going to pass the stump right here. That was blocking really any kind of technical golf shot. You were kind of just chucking stuff last year. Now, I like the flex backhand. You can try to flip something up. You can do lots of stuff. Just do what feels right. Holyn, this is where she kicked really early and then had a lost disc, had to re-tee, took a double bogey, I believe.
Yep.
Which is just crazy. Like there, how do you even lose it? It's like short grass. So hopefully that's not in her head today.
And Silva catches a tree early and it redirects in a nice way.
Wow. I mean, I actually think the line was perfect. It was just a little high. She really gets away with it.
That poison ivy blowing in the wind right next to the tee bag. Kristin early releases. She'll be in the sea of trees on the early left side, and it can be so difficult to get up and down from in there. Ooh.
Hailey with a nice straight shot. Almost.
Those last guardian trees.
They're going to be really beat up after this weekend. Holyn with a great correction from yesterday. She's going Z Swirl Challenger OS.
You know she's got vengeance on this hole.
Yeah.
Only 3 people got to circle 1 in regulation, and only 7 got to circle 2 in regulation.
Yeah, I think most people with a good shot still get caught up by those final little guardian trees.
Kristin, no problem, gets up and down with this technical approach shot.
The people love it. Whoa, look at this weird little gap Hailey's got lined up. Oh, okay. I was looking at a different one.
Me too.
That was the better one.
If she did that, I was going to come through the screen.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. Oh, yeah. Hair all in front of your face, all creepy.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Holyn, long look.
Lost disc. That's how it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was. It really was crazy. I wonder if anyone ever found it. Silva for a birdie?
Oh, she knows out of her hand.
She did. It was pretty good, too, just high, dead center.
That right to left wind held it up.
Oh, Hailey doinks it.
Whoops.
Whoops. It was pretty windy on this green. I mean, that was Hailey's fault, but just as a fun fact for all of you.
We're not going to make excuses for her. Holyn, I don't want to say getting redemption on the hole, but
what do you mean?
A par is okay.
What? That's good.
I know. I wanted her to birdie it, just right in the hole's face, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would have been nice. Maybe tomorrow.
There were only 2 birdies, Danny Clyden and Ratana Meekum. Nice. Those probably felt great.
Yeah, I am surprised there's not a few more, but really technical hole. The hair flip when she knew she missed. Still all tied up here at the top. And the leaders are 8 strokes ahead of third place. Really separating themselves in the last part of the round here.
Moving on to hole 15 at 848 feet. We have our first par 5 of the day. You want to throw a drive somewhere out here. Most players are going to take this right gap that we saw the drone flying on their second shot, landing out in the open in this field. But if you get far enough, you can attack through the left side gap and maybe even get down here close with a little chip shot up to the green. The basket is moved about 40 feet further down the hill. It used to be up a little higher and an elevated basket. Now, a little bit stretched out. I do like this change. Only thing on the tee shot you want to avoid is that right side clump of trees. And also left side, there is an out of bounds line that can come up quick if you're too high up on the hill.
Good distance from Silva. I like landing a little bit more left, just to attack the gap a little bit better.
Kristin aimed for the left side yesterday as well, just going for distance. That one.
A bit shorter than yesterday, but it's still a very good shot.
And not pushing the OB as much as well. There's no need to really go huge off this tee.
I mean, it's cool. Look how cool this is.
It's sweet, honestly.
It's really neat. But yeah, it's not really going to help her. Like, look at it.
It's more important to just be in the middle. The second shot is when it's time to unload.
Hailey putting a lot of turn on this one and kind of in a similar spot to Holyn. They're both going to be pretty pinched.
Hailey forced to go forehand and take to the sky here to get over that middle clumping of trees. And that's out in the middle. She can still get up and down for
far,
birdie.
though.
It is far.
Kristin lined up really nicely to this right side gap. It's going to be able to get some nice distance here. Solid. Silva lined up to the left gap, which you actually don't see very often. She got even more distance than I thought. Catches a single branch, but still makes good progress. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
So far.
Yep, I thought she was shorter. It turns out there is a reason to push it because it's awesome. Is she trying to eagle this thing?
Can she?
I mean, no.
Okay. I did not think so. I was going to be.
I was ready to have my mind blown. It happens all of the time.
You're right.
Just watching FPO skyrocket. The level of talent's crazy.
Hailey trying to get near the green for a save for a chance at birdie. She comes up a little short, but a long downhill putt at it.
Kristin in a good position to swing a hyzer. She'll likely need a skip to get all the way there. But, you know, sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about, so let's see. All right. Nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell if it skipped. Wow, Silva, this is her third. She's so far. She does get... She kind of fluffs it just a little bit. I mean, she's on circle's edge, but that's the farthest 2 shots I think I've seen.
And Holyn's like jump putting almost.
Yeah. Now that's the farthest 2 shots I've seen. Wow. Gets a little lucky through those trees. The wow was for the distance.
Mm-hmm. 10 people. Only 10 people. Wow. Got to circle 1 on this hole. That surprises me.
Was there a good chunk that got to circle 2?
22, yeah.
Okay, cool.
A big change. I mean, a big jump. About half the field.
Yeah, that last little bit of extension. Oh, nice birdie from Silva. Pushing the hole back that 40 or 50 feet. You can tell where people used to land.
And Silva getting warmed up. 3 birdies on the back 9 so far.
Holyn in for a nice birdie.
And that is business Holyn in full gear.
She definitely shifted into business Holyn. She must have taken a quick Zoom meeting when we weren't looking.
Kristin with another birdie. And look how clean this round is. That is, I think Erika said it yesterday, more impressive than getting a ton of birdies is being clean through Mill Ridge.
Downright squeaky. Checking in with the chase card, Rebecca Cox on the 16th here, throwing a nice backhand. Let's see if she lines herself up with the gap. She does.
It's a little early to be able to attack the basket without pushing that OB line, which she does on both sides.
Wow. To get a look on this one's very impressive.
So impressive.
This was another one that had almost no Did anyone birdie yesterday? A few.
How many circle 2 putts did Rebecca hit today?
I don't know.
She's popping off.
Look at that back-to-back birdie. Looks like she had a few rough holes, but she is still in it, folks. Silva gonna move back into a tie for third with Ella Hansen. Here it is, hole 16. We just saw it, par 4, 574 feet. You're just trying to get something usually out and a little bit more to the left to open up the second shot. If you push that right side like Rebecca did, it's short enough where you can attack for birdie, but it's risky. If you're not exactly lined up to one of those gaps, you're left with some weird scrambling. The OB on the left and especially the right get very tight as they come up and wrap all the way around the basket. Matt, do you remember how many people birdied it yesterday?
I can tell you. Yesterday there was only 1 birdie from Emily Weatherman.
Okay. So pretty cool to see Rebecca Cox get it. Here is Silva with another nice slow speed disc. That one was a hex. It looks like she's lined up well. It's cool to see more and more FPO lean into the mid-ranges and slower speed plays off the tee for placement. Yeah, and they still get great distance.
Yeah, we haven't seen that very much lately because they do continue to stretch these courses out so huge that everyone's just pulling out their distance drivers and really relying on those.
Holyn going forehand, which is fairly aggressive. That has such good power on it. All right, she's not doing anything nuts. They are all lined up pretty well to the largest gap there where the bridge was. Hailey working the forehand with the Firebird. Leaves it just a touch shorter than the other ladies, but still a great shot. Being up on the hill really gives you some options here. I wonder how aggressive these ladies are going to be. Hailey just playing for par. Probably only about 100 and, I don't know, 15 feet from there.
Holyn has to push the OB line on the left side in order to get a putt.
And now the right side maybe a little bit. Nah, she wasn't going crazy. That looked like
I think that's
maybe
really
her
smart.
buzz.
Yeah, that's smart. No need to make a huge risk here.
Man, no one really lined up. It is crazy that Rebecca got so far that she was able to push that gap and get there. So rare.
Even Silva with the closest to the pin, still not. Oh, I love this.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Too much turn. It checks up fine, though.
I like that Silva utilizes more right finishing shots. We don't see that as often, especially in the wind.
Yeah, she is a very technical game. That's super fun to watch.
And it will just keep getting better. She's so young.
So young.
Kristin with a no-nonsense, very well-executed approach. Hailey a little high. We're worried about the OB.
Yeah, this coming into this green yesterday and today was a left to right wind, which really pushed the sidearm approaches towards the OB. I think she's on the line though. We'll see.
Silva just throwing her approach shot.
Oh
my goodness.
She was like reaching down to grab her disc. There's no way she was trying to throw that in.
Awesome. That's some green on the scorecard.
Yeah, it is. 2 in a row. 3 of the last 4.
She's like, do I clear?
Yeah, she was just laying up.
Yes. Awesome. That's so cool to do it on the lead card on film. Heck yeah.
Especially after a rough start, she's really cleaning it up back here.
I wonder what she threw in.
Great reaction cam there.
And she's the only other birdie on the day besides Rebecca Cox.
Wow.
A light spoil. Sorry, Holyn. She didn't get a throw in.
Could you imagine back-to-back throw-ins? They're debating. Holyn's disc looks like it's Hailey's disc looks like it's touching the line. And they're going to call it in.
Yeah, it looks like it might be pushing the line a little bit.
Hailey unable to convert the par there.
Ball don't lie. Making a comebacker for bogey. She's not quite able to find some green on this back nine yet. No one landed in circle 1. Only 2 people landed in circle 2. We saw Rebecca be one of those 2.
I really like the tee shot and, having to kind of pick a gap. But I do think this basket should be a little bit closer.
Yeah, they got to do something here because it didn't play great last year, and it's still
not, turns out.
Still not, even with everyone getting so much better.
Kristin Tattar, wow, popping off 7 down now, just like yesterday's hot score. We'll see if she can improve on that. That would be nuts.
Moving on to hole 17. Just a little change from last year. Instead of having to carry out of bounds this entire way to a little teeny landing zone, they opened it up a little bit, making it a lot easier to attack for birdie or just in general the second half of this fairway. You can't ever call it attacking for birdie because it's so technical through here and there's so much out of bounds that it's very easy to stack up strokes as you go, especially if it's windy. I really like this par 5. I think it's very fun.
I think everyone in the field likes it, especially with this change. And even though it played as one of the harder holes yesterday, it's one that everyone steps up to thinking I can birdie it, which is very exciting.
And let's see what happens because everyone on the card could have wildly different approaches.
Yeah. When I came through, it was largely a headwind. The wind does look kind of down right now.
It played as the 3rd most difficult hole of the day.
Wow. Silva with a really nice tee shot. She's going to be lined up pretty well to that gap.
Kristin in a pretty perfect spot. It doesn't, even being lined up to the gap though, it doesn't necessarily make the second shot that much easier. Of course it is easier, but it's still it's still a really difficult.
I think you need to push those weird little pipeline signs and actually get into the gap to actually make it easy. Holyn's going to be pretty tucked right there. It's probably going to impede her ability to get distance on the second shot.
It's really important on this hole to, once you realize you're slightly out of position, to just play for par.
Just chill out.
Yep.
Hailey with a nice shot, and I like landing on the side that Hailey's on, opening up the gap here. You can see Silva's pretty pinched, having to go backhand, and it's going to challenge this corner. Oh, just drops out of the sky.
Yeah, I think that was a slower disc than we thought.
It was. Do you think like a bird flew by and knocked it down? It just really fell out of the sky.
Oh, the invisible force, classic. Hailey, oh, that's not it.
It's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, that was a little turned out of her hand. She needed to throw a little bit more of a hyzer angle. You do have to push that out of bounds line, tree line, where we can see the spotter wearing red. But Kristin having the same problem as Hailey.
And you can see the wind on this shot more than the tee shot. It's holding those discs, keeping them OB.
Holyn, thankfully not looking to the sky, just trying to chip around the corner.
And that's smart.
That's still going to be so hard.
Still going to be rough. I mean, not for a par, but I would be surprised if she can get any kind of look from there.
Silva a little more aggressive on this shot than is comfy, but
I like
works.
it.
Yeah.
I like the play. There's plenty of room there. It's just scary because it's a blind landing zone. Oh, man. What's she doing? She's chilling. Okay.
Similar shot to Silva. Pushing a little deeper, not getting quite as left. I like the slow speed disc there.
Hailey throwing 4 after the OB. This is a pretty big sidearm here. She's going to come up well short. Inside circle 2, it looks like.
That is one good thing about going OB on this right side, though, is you do have a pretty wide open look at getting to the green.
True.
You have to have that distant sidearm, though.
Mm-hmm.
Kristin,
oh, yeah.
Kristin recovering so well.
Holyn's 4th. And she controls the speed of that one really nicely into the green.
And you can see why this whole play is so difficult. It turns left and right about 40 times before you get to the green.
At least. Nice approach shot from Silva. Everyone pretty close for their par looks, except for Hailey here. She's just inside circle 2. And I'm not sure if that was a run.
Only 3 people got to circle 1 in regulation. Only 9 got to circle 2.
Okay. Dang.
Almost a really great piece together hole from Silva.
And Holyn playing the hole well after
being out of position.
Being slightly out. She was so close to having a great run at it, too. It's crazy how you just have to settle.
It's nice to see Holyn not trying to make up ground.
I thought she might be
taking some off. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you're tied at the top with Kristin Tattar, you can't mess around too much.
Nope. There was 3 birdies today on hole 17. Allie Smith, Emily Weatherman, and Cadence Burge.
Nice. 1 to go. Our leaders 8 strokes ahead. Silva, Saarinen hanging on to 3rd place. Ella Hansen tied for 4th with Hailey King. Here we go. Same tee pad as last year. Nice built up, beautiful tee pad. They did extend the hole. It's 429 feet. A par 3, but it's downhill, so it's reachable by the top, let's say, 1/3 of the field, being maybe generous, maybe 1/4. a lot of little trees in the way. This big stump is in the way. There is OB left and right. The right side comes up quick because a lot of women are throwing kind of the hyzer. And then the right side that wraps around the back also can come up surprisingly fast. We did see Kristin get, was it nearly to the circle yesterday? Can't remember. Was she just inside or maybe just outside?
Just outside, I believe.
This was a headwind, so tough to get all the way there today.
Yeah, this is kind of, to me, a funny finishing hole. While it is big and scenic and awesome to have a big downhill rip for the last hole, it just doesn't quite score in the field the way you want a finishing hole to.
Yeah. My favorite part about it is that no one takes the stairs on the way down. Everyone jumps off the edge.
Yes, we do. We're athletes.
Oh, wow. Huge shot. Come on. Holyn almost to the circle there.
Oh, Business Holyn takes the stairs right after.
Yeah, she does. I mean, you have to for business.
You won't see someone in a tie jumping off a stage.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Silva.
What about her cufflinks?
Silva affected by the headwind, but gets all the way down.
Dang it. Okay. All right, I'm going to start a tally of how many people jump. I'm going to drop the tournament, just post up, and then count how many people go down the stairs and how many jump.
Hailey definitely has the distance to get there.
A lot of power.
Yeah, great looking shot so far. But
Not
just kind of
power.
spikes.
Silva coming at it from the side. She threw pin high. She's just outside circle 2 and going to lay up.
One person got to circle 1 in regulation and 10 got to circle 2.
Hailey not really left with a clean look here.
Yeah, not really able to run at it, just has to float something onto the green.
Kristin with a look. It looks like that one branch could be in her way, and she's just going to lay up. Holyn with an opportunity here to take the solo lead. Not going to do it.
Yeah, this green is
honestly.
Yeah, this green is so sloped. Don't need to mess around. Also, after playing Mill Ridge, I think most people are like, get me off this course.
Just get me out of here.
It was a long day.
Long day, and Holyn's got a pile of emails to answer.
Guess who got this only birdie of the day?
You're going to make me actually guess.
Who's done so good all day today on the one set?
Rebecca Cox.
Yes, she did.
Man.
I wonder if she made another circle 2 putt. Heck yeah, Rebecca. And that will wrap up round 2. Not as many colors on the card today as we saw yesterday. Everyone dialing this course in a little bit. Kristin going to be in a tie for first and also shoot the hot round. Just do both.
Just do both.
All and Handley hanging on, though, to a really nice, clean round. 3 down, only 1 bogey.
The leaders really separating themselves here in this round. Should be an exciting battle tomorrow. Silva Saarinen will remain on the card with that +2 round. Ella Hansen gonna jump up into the 4th place spot at even par for the round.
Yep, and it looks like everyone kind of struggling to shoot under par today. That's pretty typical out here at Mill Ridge. If a +2 is good enough to keep you in 3rd place, that says a lot.
A lot. Too much.
Yeah, and we've got one more round today. Moving day has passed. We have more sunshine in the forecast tomorrow, so please come hang with us for the final round of the Music City Open. Thanks again to the Founders Club. You guys rule. That's all, folks.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker.
We're the 2 hot geese.
Honk.